Welcome back. Take a seat and let's get looping. Combinator. Name it. Loop. Make yourself a Dr. Octo-Rex. And I'm going to load up, if we initialize it first, right click initialize patch, and load it up with this little browse loop button here. And I've got these tambourine samples loaded up already within the Reason Factory Sound Bank, Dr. Rex Percussion Loops, Tambourine 120 BPM. And I'm going to go for Tamb 02A 120. Truly inspiring. So load that up. There are actually some great loops for live percussion that can be awesome for layering with a lot of genres of electronic music, just in the default Reason Factory Sound Bank. But for dance pop, these tambourine loops are ideal. But not quite as they are. So, I'm just going to cast a quick magic spell to put a different rhythm into this loop. Axio loop! Sorted. Now, I've just rearranged it, if we have a listen. Just to give a really simple and consistent feel to the loop, with a bit more pace to it. So have a listen with the beat. So now if we go into the loop, and right click to create a stereo imager. Just solo out that high band and widen it. Just have 3/4 there. And this can really make the percussion feel a lot bigger. So without it, and with it. That'll be a lot more prominent as well when we add a maximizer just to beef up the volume. So right click, create, maximizer. Let's take the input gain right up because it's really quiet at the moment. And now you can hear the stereo imager really does widen it up. So there's our loop. Might want to bring that down in volume a tad actually. I find it's good to have a nice load of volume in the actual instance of the sound so you can adjust it here without having to push it all the way up. With that automation, we're going to go into beat once again. Find where that kick is living. We open it up, we can see the filter is on. And now the hi-hat is off by default. And we're just going to go to Show Programmer, hit Cong 1. And for button 1, we're going to hit the drop down here. And for drum 1, we're going to select FX1 on with min 1 and max 0. So yeah, just like that. And then we want another button 1 routed to drum 5. So this is the hi-hat. And just DM on. So that's actually turning the drum on. And just leave that on the default with min 0 and max 1. And what this is doing basically is it allows us to control both the hi-hat being on, which is, as I said, drum slot 5. And then also to turn the filter of that kick off and on simultaneously. So we're going to set up some automation to test it out. So just right click and edit the automation of that button. And then just draw it in. W is the shortcut key for that. So draw it in, if we double click and then just draw in one dot at the top there, that'll mean when it comes around to that section, it'll turn it on. So take a listen to the difference. Can you hear that? You can see the filter is changing. Just comes off there. Might bring up that hi-hat a little bit. There, you can definitely hear it now. In fact, if I just mute that loop, we can hear much clearer. So without any high end. There. Voila! And there we have it. A beat meatier than Lady Gaga's clothing, and a loop loopier than Lady Gaga's clothing. Join me tomorrow where I'll make a bass line for our track that I can compare to Lady Gaga in some other obscurely metaphorical way. And before we end day one, I encourage you to post your tracks on the boyinaband.com forum and share critiques to learn how to improve your tracks as you go through the 7-day song if you have any questions or want suggestions. See you tomorrow, guys!